All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussion, continuing our retro pay-per-view review series, giving me In Your House 9 International Incident. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's get into this. We got a lot to cover in this one. Before we get into it, there were two replacements during this contest. Jake the Snake Roberts, who was supposed to face Mankind in this, was replaced by Henry Godwinn. And of course, this is the one where the Ultimate Warrior was replaced in the main event by Psycho Sid. We'll get to that, what happened a little bit later on.
Yeah, Jay couldn't get in the country in Canada, apparently. He had some legal issues. They wouldn't let him in. So that's why he
Yeah.
had to sit it out.
So he was replaced by Mankind in this match, and Jerry Lawler went ahead and started up their storyline by making a few cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Which by the way, I want to give a quick shout out. Hope Jerry gets better. He just recently had a stroke and he's not doing too good at this point. So I hope he pulled through, man. July 21st, 1996, in Vancouver, British Columbia. This was In Your House 9, like you said, international incident. Main event would be a six-man tag team match, and this would actually culminate and lead to SummerSlam. So there we go. The free-for-all match on this one was Savio losing to Justin Bradshaw, so nothing important there.
Was that whole thing with I guess it was the contract signing, right? That was on the free-for-all with Shawn Michaels and was it on the free-for-all or Raw?
Yeah, where they had the discrepancy, the pushing matchup between Lothario and Cornette.
Yeah. That was the free-for-all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. Interviewed Cornette and the Clan about it, and that's actually going to lead, I think, to the next In Your House, where the two of them are going to go at it, Lothario and Cornette. So for our opening matchup, it was a non-title tag team match. It was the Body Donnas against the Smoking Guns. Sonny refusing to put the tag team titles on the line against the Body Donnas.
Yeah, that was stupid. I'm like, why would you have a non-title? I hate when they do this, the non-title match. And then when the other team goes over, it's like
they won the match. Okay, now what? Now you're gonna give them a title match?
And then I never bought the Smoking Guns as heels. I always thought they were baby faces, and I always thought the Body Donnas were heels. They were better heels. So I didn't understand that. Then the next night they're supposed to fight. They're supposed to fight Shawn Michaels and Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson, yeah.
Tag titles.
That didn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know. Whatever. It's like point. I just thought it was. I mean, the high spot of this is that Sonny would look pretty damn good with the cowgirl hat and the outfit she had. But outside of that, I didn't really. I don't know. I didn't care for this match.
The match was nothing
special. Right. It wasn't bad, but I just wasn't interested in. It's a non-title match.
Exactly. There's nothing up on here.
The
title should be on the line, considering that Skip and Zip are looking for revenge, and Sonny is their former manager.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
But then again, in 1996, she's everybody's former manager.
Yeah.
She just went where the tag titles went.
Yeah, she did a lot about backstage too, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, exactly. So the matchup was pretty good. The Body Donnas got the victory in this one. Bart was going for the side slam. Skip went off the top rope, hit him. Zip rolls him up for the pin, and the Smoking Guns lose the match, and the Body Donnas are victorious. So now you've won the match. You're not the champions, and the next night the champions are going to go face somebody else.
Right.
Which I didn't even understand why the Smoking Guns were going to face Shawn and Ahmed anyway. But at this point, Raw's looking for ratings, considering you're going
right. Yeah, I mean it's a cool thing. Shawn being the WWF champion, Ahmed being the IC champion. I mean that's cool, but again, it didn't lead to anything. So it's just a ratings probably grab or something, you know.
Exactly. So, and like you had said, right after this match, Mr. Perfect had interviewed Jim Cornette about the scuffle on the free for all with Jose Lothario. And then I love how Shawn Michaels just got into that. He almost slid out of the entire ring to get in there because Vader was going after Lothario. So Shawn going after Vader.
This is gonna. I mean, I'll mention this more later. I just don't like. I know Shawn is scrappy and everything, but Vader's a monster heel.
Yes.
I don't like how Shawn. It was almost like he can go toe to toe with Vader. If you're building
it's
Vader,
not believable.
Right. As much as I like Shawn, and I'm not taking anything away from his in ring work.
Yeah.
But he's a monster heel. No, I didn't care for it. I did like. Well, good.
No, wasn't it? And it's never been proven, but I always wanted to know because I didn't know if they were going to lead toward this. Wasn't it SummerSlam originally supposed to be Shawn and Warrior?
No,
or is that something that
no.
Because I don't know if I thought back then that that's what they were leading towards.
The plan was Vader Shawn, SummerSlam, then the Vader Shawn rematch Survivor Series. Vader wins. Then
even if Warrior was still on board.
Yeah, Royal Rumble, Vader, Shawn again. Shawn beats Vader. That was the plan.
Okay,
So
because I always wondered after this match was Warrior going to head to SummerSlam to face Shawn? It would have been a great match.
no, no, it was very,
Okay,
it was very
so they're always yeah, and like you said, it's hard to believe that a guy like Shawn, and I'm again not taking anything away from Shawn. He can go toe to toe with the big guys, but you're selling Vader as this huge monster, like you said, and then you got Shawn Michaels is giving up about 150, 170 pounds to him. Beating
I don't know.
him, I don't know.
But I did like the thing that Cornette said. He's like, "Oh, if we lose, if my team loses, I'll give everybody in the refund and everybody watching on
$7 to $10 million.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
At
kind of
that
tipped
point,
you
I
off. That
know.
kind of tipped you
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
And even if they won, I'll probably get a rubber check from the
Right.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Our next match was Henry Godwinn versus Mankind, which this was a weird match to watch. I mean, it was supposed to be Jake and Mankind. Even that
yeah.
match would have been like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't.
This
This
match
was
again was nothing special.
it's all right. I did like the neck breaker that Mankind does on the concrete outside the ring.
Yeah. And then, of course, he gets thrown on the concrete
Well,
by Godwinn. And even Vince was like, oh my God. And you kind of like, you feel for Mankind because
yeah.
you know he got hurt there.
Hmm.
But and then they're talking about during this how the Undertaker's having a hard time this year with this guy with Mankind. He's constantly losing, and it's going to get better as the night goes
Yeah.
on here. Trust me. Mankind gets the mandible claw on. He beats Henry Godwinn and gets the victory. Now here's what's funny, and a lot of people didn't know. Rather than going to the back, once the arena had gone dark briefly,
Mhm.
Mankind had ducked under the ring for the rest of the night. And when we get to the certain match, you'll know why.
He did
But
the
yeah,
same thing at the In Your House. He did the same thing when he went under the ring when it
yeah.
blacked out, and then he didn't even know what was going on, and it was a big thing.
Was that was the casket match you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He had
When,
hit under the ring, and then I'm talking about. I don't know. I guess he did it the second night too, but the first night
mhm.
when he was under the ring and the blackout happened, and he didn't know the blackout happened. It was funny. Funny little side note. Poor Mick.
I know, but it was fun. It was good stuff to watch it with him. Now the next thing that they interviewed after this match, they had Brian Pillman monitoring the hotline. Oh
Oh yeah,
Lord!
yeah, yeah.
And you got the body Donnas on there, and he's just talking shit to them, and he's like, "You guys suck," you know.
I think Vince apologizes too for something he said, right?
Yeah, because Pillman is now the loose cannon. He's going
Yeah.
off on him. And the fact that he goes, wait, Jim Ross is like, wait, you got him managing the hotline?
Pillman was great, man. Rest in peace.
He was, yeah, definitely. Especially this character. You know, I loved him as Flying Brian in WCW, but when he
Loose cannon.
adapted to this character, man, it was awesome. The next match after this was the undefeated, well, used to be the undefeated Marvelous Marc Mero. Well, Wild Man, I'm sorry. Wild Man Marc Mero.
Wild man.
Against Stone Cold Steve Austin, where Mero got his first loss in the King of the Ring pay-per-view when Austin beat him.
This is the rematch when he had accidentally kicked Austin and he busted open his lip.
16 stitches and came back to fight that night.
Mhm.
And Austin's looking at it. And they even Lawler had made the comment during this. He goes, oh, look, he kicked him again. And
Well, he did the spot.
He did
this time he didn't hit him though, for real.
No, not thank God.
Man. Austin was playing possum though, because he goes down like kind of like he hit him again in the same spot, and then I think he just what does he do? He does something. I think he pokes him in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
I think Austin gets up and pokes him in the eye, something like that.
This wasn't a bad match. He won it by getting the stunner on him, but it was funny because he tried it the first time, couldn't get it because Mero held the rope. What's funny is Marlena comes down during this match and has nothing to do with Austin. This is strictly with Mero. And she doesn't get involved or anything. She's just walking around. She gives Vince something, an envelope or whatever, and then she's down halfway down the ring, down the aisle.
Yeah.
So Austin going on his momentum from King of the Ring gets the victory here. Which and going forward, this didn't make any sense when we talked about it on SummerSlam. He was the free for all match.
Yeah.
I mean, you got him on King of the Ring. He's got such a momentum. You don't even put him on the card. And to make matters worse, he faces Yokozuna and beats him in 1 minute.
Yeah, it's weird.
So, in any event, the next match after this one was The Undertaker versus Goldust. No title on the line in this one. Goldust is not the Intercontinental Champion anymore. Ahmed Johnson is.
Yeah.
And This match again, it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
Gold,
It was okay, but at the same time, there's no
Goldust
stakes.
pulling the mind games
You're still going.
on the Undertaker. I know there's no stakes on this
No,
one.
you're still going with the Goldust like Undertaker feud, which I never got. Like I never bought into
Yeah,
it. I thought it was weird.
I said it all along. I don't know why they ever locked these
Now
two
there's
up.
no title on the line. It was all right. The match was okay.
It was. I love how he's playing the mind games with him, doing the whole thing, and then Taker's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna knock you out." Now the Undertaker won this match by disqualification. Reason why is because somebody decided to wake up from
Yeah.
underneath the ring.
Here we go again.
Mankind comes up from the ring, grabs the Undertaker, takes him down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got all this smoke, and it's funny because I don't know if there was a botched moment or if this is the way they were supposed to play it off. Because Mankind took a long time. One, like, where is he? He kept sticking his head down there. I think it was part of it.
No, it was part of it. They wanted the crowd to think that, well, maybe, damn, Undertaker might be out.
Yeah. You know? And meanwhile, he was just going to the other side of the ring, coming up through the ring and grabs Mankind and takes him down. Later on, after this event, Gorilla Monsoon will finally announce because their fight went all the way to the boiler room.
In the boiler room, which is a preview, because then the preview it goes into SummerSlam. They're gonna have a boiler room match.
He announced that the match will start there.
It's pretty good. I always used to laugh when Mankind used to like squeal like a pig.
Yes,
I used to laugh. Yeah.
Pull his hair out, man. It was awesome. At first, it took a while to get used to him.
Like, it was a little weird, but then it was like,
what the hell is Vince doing here? But then, the more and more you see him,
it grew on me. The character grew on me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just wanted Undertaker to get rid of this guy, man. That's why I don't blame Undertaker for throwing him off the damn cage. It's like enough already. Enough.
Well, Foley told him to.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, character-wise, I was like, how many? That was like 2 years later. This feud went on forever.
Yes. But Taker could never get the victory on this guy.
Yeah. It was a good story. It was a good story.
And then at SummerSlam, you think he's got it, and then Paul Bearer turns on him.
Yeah, sad moment.
Oh my God, yeah. Now, right after this, I thought this was funny because as you see Ross Lawler and Vince talking, you get a fan that puts a crown on Lawler's head. So now Lawler's pissed and calls for security. This punk is out of here. I thought that, and he's still trying to do the whole thing while this kid is messing with him.
There's another fan that interferes during the main event.
The main event, yeah, and he almost got his ass beat by Ahmed, man. You see Ahmed just rusting that, and this little kid's like, this guy's like 100 pounds, soaking wet, jumps up on the rope. I'm like, dude, they'll squash.
People are thinking.
The worst ever I have ever seen was at a house show when a fan interfered on Triple H and Steve Austin. And the fan went to Austin, and you see how fast Triple H came out of that ring and beat the crap out of this dude. Oh my God! Rule of thumb: don't interfere in the match. They will beat the shit out of you, and you're gonna go to jail. What's the point? So now, right before the main event, they showed what led to this.
Yeah, they'll recap.
And they showed the Ultimate Warrior in this. He was part of the match. Storyline wise, he gets suspended indefinitely, and then they show Vader, Owen, and Bulldog beating him down, which I thought was crap. Now, the original story of why he wasn't there, he had no-showed several matches, several events because his father was sick and dying.
That's not entirely the story.
I know that's the story one of the stories they come out with, and then Vince didn't believe it.
It had to do with the Warrior Creations contract, how they were copyright infringement. His father did pass during that time, but it was a lot more complicated than that. But yeah, he ends up getting suspended, fired, whatever you want to call it. So
this last run, I feel that Vince wanted to bury him or something. I don't know. It felt that way because
complicated, but
there was a whole lot of garbage back then.
So they end up eventually they got lucky. They were able to get Sid. Sid replaces Warrior in that spot, and they had Cornette was like, oh, nobody's gonna team up with you guys, and then you don't see Sid in the background of Shawn. Well, you see somebody with their back, yeah. Then it's Sid, and he's like, it was a really good.
I just couldn't see him as a fan favorite, not as Psycho Sid. Like watching him in the ring, high fiving and checking on Shawn.
You know, sooner or later he was gonna become a heel. They actually were trying to get Brett. Brett was supposed to replace Sid.
That would have been awesome.
But at the time, and this was in Vancouver too. It would have been cool to see Brett fighting in Canada. Brett and Shawn on the same team. Weird. But they ended up getting Sid to replace him. They showed the backstory how they had so stupid. Cornette, the Shawn Michaels and Ahmed are like backstage. I guess this is at Raw. and I guess Cornette throws water in Sean's face, and then takes
Yeah, there was a
and
whole setup,
it was a setup bulldog, and then he
and
bumps,
then he got Sid
and then
comes
Sid
with
comes flying. He almost hit one of them. He just comes flying with the car crash. He crashed, right?
Yeah, literally.
Jesus, that could have went bad.
And what's funny is you look at this match because the first thing that popped in my head watching this match, going, "Hey, three of you guys were at Fall Brawl a couple of years ago on opposite sides and
Yeah,
shit."
it's WCW reunion.
Like Bulldog
Vader.
and Vader were on opposite
Vader and
sides, and now
Sid.
they're team. Yeah, Vader and Sid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Fall Brawl just popped in my head when I watched this.
Did you
And
notice
Beach
that?
Blast too.
Yeah. Did you know that Sean came out first as the
Yeah.
champion? Oh, that was interesting.
And then the fans fell over the railing fell down. He's trying to
common
help them.
Common thing. That's not the first time that happened with Sean.
Yeah.
So,
But I didn't understand why he came out first, but it's whatever.
Whatever.
They all came out, and then Ahmed, the Intercontinental Champion, Sid. Here comes the Cornette crew. I mean, this match was pretty good. This is almost 25 minutes that they were going at it.
It was good. I mean, you had good spots with Sid, good spots with Ahmed, but the whole match was Sean. Sean was in the ring way too much.
Yep, and mainly with Vader.
Yeah, I felt like you could have teased the Vader and Sean thing, but the fact that they wrestled a lot,
yeah,
I don't know. I
think he was in the ring a good 10 minutes before he finally got the tag, and then he comes right back in after that.
Right. It was just too much Sean. I felt not that Sean's not a great wrestler, but I would have. I mean, maybe because Sid wasn't in shape, maybe because he had just come back, and Ahmed is not the greatest worker. I don't know. I don't know what the thinking was, or they just wanted to showcase Sean.
Probably.
But either way, I just felt like he was in the ring too much. He almost gets the win, right? He was gonna super kick Vader. Was he gonna super kick Vader?
Yeah, Cornette grabs his leg, and Vader splashed him and did the Vader bomb for the victory.
Mm-hmm.
Pins Shawn Michaels, and Cornette's crew wins, and he saves $10 million. But this is going to lead to SummerSlam.
But then Sean's fine. He's fine after the Vader bomb because then he like jump. Yeah. He jumps the rope.
He jumps over the rope and knocks him down.
Is that before or after Vader? Sid had power bombed the whole team except Vader because Vader got the hell out.
That was right after.
Right after, right? Yeah, because then Sean jumps. Yeah.
So Sean, okay, so
you knew he
didn't get Vader, I'll get him.
You knew Sid wasn't going to be able to get Vader. Was too big. He went for it though.
Because if he did it, then people are going to start thinking, oh, maybe Sid should face Vader.
Well, he couldn't. He said in an interview he couldn't. He said he was just too big. That's why when they have the powerbomb match,
yeah,
and it's another In Your House, I think they have a powerbomb match, and he said I couldn't get him up.
Even if he jumped into it, I don't think he could hold him.
He never got it.
But I thought this was good. Unfortunately, it would have been better to see Warrior in this.
Well, I would have liked to have seen Warrior, but it's not like Sid did a bad job. And
no, he didn't.
And then for what we get later on with Sid and Sean, it actually worked out,
Exactly.
As a Warrior fan, I would have liked that.
Sean didn't want to work with Vader anymore because he couldn't stand him. He hurt him. He smells. I mean, he didn't want to be bothered with him, so he wasn't going to put the belt on him, which is a shame that Vince didn't go with what he wanted to do. Instead, he listened because he was afraid Sean was going to jump ship.
Well, we said they dropped the ball with Vader. I mean,
they did.
It's not 100% WWF's fault. It's not because Vader was a little bit out of shape. You could see he was a lot bigger than he was in WCW.
Well, his career was also winding down too.
Yeah, so he didn't really quite move the same. But I still think they did him a great disservice. He should have been billed as this monster heel and kept it very strong. And if you're gonna put the belt on him, just put the belt on him. It doesn't have to be for long, but you built him up just to
a month or two.
Not really.
Even if they did like they did with Sid, if you win in the Survivor Series, lose it at the Rumble.
Well, that's what was going to happen.
Yeah,
that's what was going to happen. But he got on Sean's bad side, and then
the one thing I don't like about Vader is in 1998, literally this guy was on most of the pay-per-views of 1998, and he lost every one of them.
Yeah, but he was already done. He's just fulfilling his contract at that point. Unfortunately,
it was just sad to see.
Yeah, it was.
He's losing to guys like Bradshaw.
No, it's like. This is why I don't like, what's his name? Pritchard sometimes, Bruce Pritchard, because he's such a company man. He's like, oh, he didn't get over. It didn't work. But at the same time, okay, well, how did he get over in WCW? And his WCW sucks, right? According to WWF. So how did he get over in WCW as a monster heel, but he couldn't get over in WWF?
I thought it worked very well for the first 6 months he was there, from the Rumble all the way to actually his first 8 months.
Like I said, it's two parties are kind of at fault with the way that it went, but I don't like the way they just shift everything on Vader. It's not.
And then all of a sudden, what didn't make any sense with him is when they made him a fan favorite in '97. Now all of a sudden he's patriotic and shit. with the flag match and all this, and that didn't make
No,
sense
but that
because it
was
felt like they
had
just
already
threw that
decided.
at us.
Well, they did at that point. They already decided they weren't going to push him, so they had to do something with him because they were paying him.
And I've made the comment before that going to Montreal Screwjob that the month prior, rather than having the flag match, that Brett could have dropped the title to Vader, even if it was for a short time, and then Shawn get it back off of him,
Yeah,
rather
but
than have the discrepancy in November.
yeah, I know, but like I said, they had already given up on Vader, so that wasn't going to happen. So overall, this was
It's unfortunate because I think out of shape, yes. Winding down his career, yes, but he's still, to me, with the fans, he was a draw. Yeah, he should have
a run. Yeah. So this was, I mean, this was okay in your house. I mean,
again, it's leading to SummerSlam.
Yeah,
between Shawn and Vader.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So you guys make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care.